Let's try this new Tirtir Mass Fit All Cover Pink Cushion Foundation. I have the larger size, which is 0.63 fluid ounces, and it retails for $25 on Amazon currently, but it is also 30% off. So you can get it for even cheaper right now. It comes in 23 shades and is meant to be the matte version of the very popular Red Cushion Foundation. Its claims are that it is velvety matte, 72-hour flawless wear. I don't know who's going to wear it for that long. And that it is perfect for oily and combination skin. I got mine in 13N Neutral, which is the lightest shade. I normally would go with 13C Cool, but they don't have that as an option. So we're gonna try N, which actually looks like a pretty good match. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So to start, I am going to use my base, which is the Tarte BB Blur Tinted Moisturizer. It's great for a little bit of pore smoothing. So let's go ahead and start with the actual puff that it comes with. I always try these. These are not my favorite. So you're gonna see, for me, these end up giving me sort of a patchy application. They don't give me full application. It doesn't blend well. I just don't care for it. So let's move on to my Sigma F80, which is my absolute favorite blending brush for foundation. It gives you a really airbrushed finish. So I'm finding that I really have to push this into my pores. I mean, it's a matte foundation, so it looks really good. A little bit of shine to it, which I wasn't expecting, honestly, but okay. So there's without, and here's with. So far, this is not the finish I was expecting at all, but I actually really like it. So let's do the other side. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and put that in. Here's kind of what you can expect. Again, it's beautiful, but there's a little bit of shine, so I'm gonna tamp it down with one of my dry Stands Out sponges. Okay, like I would not call this matte. It's still a little bit sticky. I think it will dry down, but we're not there yet. I'm gonna try to get a little more coverage by adding a little bit more. I always like to do this to see if it builds. So this is one of my smaller brushes where I'm just really kind of tamping it in. And it does seem to, yeah, it does give you, you know, a second application gives you a little more coverage, but it brings that shine back. So I think I'm still gonna go ahead and use a little bit of concealer. I've got some spots down on my chin and under my eyes for sure. So let's go ahead and use my Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer and do my usual. I've been trying this new Kosas Cloud Set powder, the pink one, and here's what it looks like before. I wanted a matte finish, so we're going to use this powder. My Givenchy favorite powder has been reformulated, so we're going to be trying some new ones. This gives me a very similar finish. It's very beautiful, but it's talc-free. So here's with. I think that's gorgeous, very matte, but not heavy. Okay, so makeup is on. Here's where we are starting. I'm actually really pleased with how this went on. I don't like the red one. I don't like the silver one. I don't like the white one. I don't think I even tried the black one. So far, this pink one is actually pretty good. It's supposed to be matte. I find this to be not that matte. It's matte once I put some powder on it, but even that, you can see a diffuse glow underneath it. It does not have the amount of coverage that I saw like Tati when she was using it. I mean, it just like covered up everything. I was not a fan of using the little puff that comes with it. It's, can you hear this? Listen to this. Oh no, it's not doing it. There is the sound. It's like, it's not good. That particular kind of puff, I don't know, my skin and it is just not, that's not something that works as well as just straight up using a really good brush. And I love the Sigma F80 Kabuki. If you want that airbrush look, this one's great. Now, I did find, as you saw, that when I use it, with this particular one, I felt like I really had to tamp it in. It was like my arm was getting a workout, which I'm not exactly sure why. This has a little bit more drag to it. If you watch any of my other sort of foundation reviews, you know that I don't like foundations that have drag. I think it's just when they have a more viscous oil in them, it doesn't just like nice silicone-y smooth float over your pores. You kind of have to work it in. It stays where you put it. And so when you want to blend, it's not as effortless. However, I will say that when you do blend this, especially when you use like a dry stands out sponge, this is sort of my my last little, I mean, see, I'm even doing it right now because I see just a little bit of texture. It just tamps down that little bit of glow and it makes everything marry together and it gives you a much smoother sort of finish. So we're going to start here. I have high hopes for this. It is very comfortable. It's very thin. It is the opposite of what I expected when I got this. I decided to get it just because I was like, you know, they came out with a new one. People are going to want to know. Tirtir is very, very popular. I didn't like the other ones. I probably won't like this one. So far, that is not the case. I have very normal skin right now. I'm 49, and I'm actually not on Accutane right now. I'm going through like the end of perimenopause, almost into menopause. Like my hormones are freaking wild right now, so I'm constantly on HRT to try and get that managed. But that's where all of my skin problems and acne came from, and it's right now pretty chill. Like I'm not overly oily. I am not breaking out right now, except for a little bit under here. Again, hormones, because I'm messing with hormones. So I would say that I have pretty normal skin. So if you have skin like me right now, I'm not ultra dry, but I tend towards a little bit dry, certainly around the edges of the face, but the T-zone is a little less so. I would say that's normal skin. So we're going to test this on that kind of skin and we're going to see how it goes, and I'll give you close-ups as we go throughout the day so that you can see kind of how it's wearing, because that was my problem with the ones before, is that it really looked makeup-y. It really sat in all of my pores and texture. I have, you know, a little bit of wrinkling texture starting right here. My chin's just sort of like not the smoothest thing in the world. And so it's really easy to see where, you know, texture will build up and will catch with a foundation that's not really great for my skin. The other ones, they definitely did that, and they gave me polka dot pores. So far, I'm not seeing that happen with this. So randomly, this may be the Tirtir for me. So let's go ahead. I will quit talking real quick. I'm trying out the new Undergrowth palette on my eyes. This is, oof, if you want a fall themed, like sort of grungy undergrowth type looking, I mean, like this is the color theme. If you are into that, and I am so into that, this is absolutely beautiful. Definitely, there's a lot of glitter fall out throughout the day with this, so I'm giving it a try by, I used some mixed glitter glue as a base, and I sprayed a little bit of the fixing spray on the top to see if I could get it to stay. So we'll see if that works, because yesterday I didn't, and it was just like, it was beautiful fairy. I had fairy cheeks, but it had just fallen straight down because it's just, it needs to be set. It's so glittery and pretty. Okay. Lips. Everybody always asks. I am using the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs, and this is the hot chocolate, the one, it's a special one. I'll put it up. It's only at Ulta. It's the one that has a little more pink in it, and usually their hot chocolate is just more of a brown, so you can see sort of the difference. This one has just a tiny bit of pink. Okay, enough. All right, let's go ahead and get this day started. But let me zoom in real quick so that you can see where we're starting. This has got a really nice finish. The glow here is from my little Dior highlighter. So that's all that. But the rest of this is the powdered down, very light version of it. Pretty, I would say pretty dry. It's feeling pretty dry and thin, not
not gooey at all. Okay, I will see you in the first check-in. Okay, this is, you know, by the window. This is 2 hours. I put a little more blush on. I was doing another video. But really no change. So far so good. Like, I would not have pegged this as like a, ooh, that's a matte kind of foundation. Which is actually good, because matte usually is, you know, it's great if you have oily skin, but for everybody else, it's gonna look like it sucks the life out of you, right? This one does not. It's really nice, and it is not, it's not like budging, and it feels very thin, which is pretty nice. Okay, we'll keep going.
Okay, this is 4 hours out in obviously natural daylight. I mean, pretty much no change. This looks great. I am really happy with this.
6 hours, again, not much change. I noticed it was getting a little bit makeup-y up here. I don't know if it's really showing. I kind of rubbed it and it went away. I probably shouldn't. I should have just left it, but yeah, overall, so here we go. Here's some change. It's rubbed off my nose a little bit. I've been sneezing a little bit, so it did rub off. It is supposed to be really good for mask wearing. I would say it does not move a whole lot, so you kind of have to rub hard, and I did, and then it will come off. But otherwise, I mean, it's holding up really, really well. Okay, I'll check back in, one more check-in, and give you my final thoughts. Okay, we have made it to the end of the day. It's like 9 hours now. This has worn great. I am actually really, really surprised because I really did not like the wear on the standard red one that everybody loves so much. It looked polka dot pory, it looked makeup-y. It was not good, in my opinion. This is the best one for fairly normal aging skin with some texture. It gives you great coverage, but not full coverage. I found it a little hard to build up. I could do some building up, but not too much. I still did need to use a little bit of concealer. It wasn't too dry. It actually had a little bit of a glow to it, which I was not expecting. The glow I sort of got rid of by using some powder. You don't have to. If you wanted to keep that glow, you could still get really good coverage. I do think it will dry down. I just didn't give it enough time because I like to powder. I really like a powdered look. I gotta say, this wore really well. Now, I mean, I am 9 hours. I have worked out. I have done all the things, cooked, cleaned, driven all over the place. Did a whole other video under these hot lights. And my skin is not perfect right now. But would I go to the store like this? Yeah, totally. Like, it is not that bad. I can see just a little tiny bit of dew, not much, especially for having working out. It did rub off of my nose here, but I kind of went at my nose. Like, I did one of those because it was kind of itching. So yeah, it did come off there, but it is supposed to really kind of hold up underneath masks. And I would say I really had to try for that. I wasn't greasy throughout the day. I wasn't overly dry and makeup-y throughout the day. I did find that where I powdered a bit, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little more texture and a little bit more sort of dry makeup-y look right up here. But I haven't done Botox in like probably 6 months. I'm way overdue. I wanted to let it completely wear off to see kind of where I was at, if I really still needed to be using it. I am actually tomorrow going to go back and get more Botox because I am at the age where if I don't relax those muscles, it eventually starts making static lines. And I gave it some time to see if that would happen, and it did. I've got some actual wrinkles that are there even when I'm not making the expression, and it just looks more textury here. So all of that to say that when I am on Botox, I wouldn't see as much issue right here, but because I'm not, and I'm just having my normal skin with my skincare, it is sort of like catching in lines and wrinkles and stuff up here, but this is my problem area, especially because I powdered it there, so it's gonna catch a little bit more. That said, you gotta like get up on me to see that. Nobody's gonna do that. So I'm actually gonna keep this fairly short just because I was so impressed with this. I do think that for about 25 bucks, this is a great buy. This one, I'm gonna have to keep wearing it and trying it. I think if you're not having a lot of bad skin trouble, this is actually a really good option. I found this to be less heavy and less makeup-y than the popular red one. There's not a ton of different colors in this one. I got lucky. I was online on Amazon and I just happened to pick the right one, but I sat there and went back and forth because this isn't the lightest one. This is just the lightest cool one. Or is it? Oh no. See, I went through this before and I was like, oh God, I don't know. This is 13N. I don't think that this is the same color as I use in the red and the silver and the white. Those ones are actually cool toned one. This is a neutral. It works just fine for me. I think it was because it is not so heavy and masky. It actually was fine with my skin tone. So if you are somewhere close to my skin tone with cool undertones, 13N, which is I believe the lightest one, we'll check. This will work for you. I think it will. So I would choose this one. Their shade range, hopefully they will expand it because I think that this is their best one so far. We'll see what other people think, but if other people like this as much as I did over the red one, which has a huge range of shades, then hopefully they will expand this line because the red didn't start out with such a good, shade range. So yeah, who do I recommend this for? Kind of everybody. I think it is made for oily skin. I don't have oily skin right now, and if I did, I think that I would still really like this. I did find that it kind of dried down and it left me feeling very not oily throughout the day. So I think if I was oily, I would probably, because I was like super oily before, I would probably break through just a little bit if I had to guess. But it wouldn't be until probably midway through the day or end of day, and I think it would be minor. I cannot say for sure because I'm not super oily right now. But if I had to guess, because this one is matte and it's made for oily skin, that it's really going to perform pretty well on oily skin. What I didn't expect is that for medium dry skin, aging skin, normal skin, this I think is beautiful, much better than the other ones that are supposed to be more for those skin types. So I guess I'm going to leave you with this. If you have been interested in the Tirtir, but you maybe tried the red one and you were like, oh, this is heavy, I don't like it, but you like the whole cushion foundation thing and you wanted to give it a try, this is your one. They finally came out with one that I approve of, I really like, and this one works really well for my skin and my skin type. So yes, this one's worth going to get. Really, really like this. Okay, if you have any questions, if you've tried this one and you have thoughts, go ahead and leave them below. I love to hear from you guys, and I am happy to answer any other questions or go do swatches or anything for you to help. Well, surprise, surprise, this was actually a really good foundation review. Very happy to have finally found a good one from Tirtir. I like the company. I like a lot of their skincare, so I'm really glad that I finally like one of their foundations. If you haven't already subscribed to me, I sure would appreciate it, as it really helps my channel to grow, and I appreciate you guys being here. Okay, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next video.